Make the three of us.
Oh, hello there. The mellow yellow. I have to call it the mellow yellow because it comes from Hugh Thompson. He's one of the most mellow humans I know. So first off the bat, let's get this. I totally expected Hugh to send a mid-twin because he's been riding them at supers. But when he found out we're coming to the south coast, he was, no, chuck that. Well, actually, first he said he was going to do a 2x1, the traditional mid-tail. But then he said, no, on the south coast, you're going to need some performance. So he put a 5-fin box in. First session on this, I did put in a nice extra large set of mesh thrusters for a session in Durban. I think there's a nice wave from that session, just the one, but you'll see a really good turn. So it held its rail with the thruster. Dill surfed it next and decided he wanted the quad, and he surfed it in some pretty big, chunky south coast, and it looked really good under his feet. Was having no issues getting in, no issues getting down the line. I've had another little sesh on it also on like reasonably big surf, and it did feel good. The board paddles amazing. It's got again, what I would say is like almost like a big wave gun look and feel to it, especially in the tail. I mean, look at that pin. You know that thing's going to hold no matter what. And in the nose, probably the narrowest of the big boards in the nose as well. But it carries its volume from here to here. All of your big chunk is here, right under your chest where you need it. And that's why it paddles so good. It's got an interesting flat deck, little bits of concave here and there. And if you feel here, it's got a double concave through the fins. So high, low, high. Low, high. So channels that water straight off the middle of the board and into the fins for that control. And I think both Dill and I have picked up this board for the first time, and we're like, ooh, that one feels good. Like, she really feels good. I've never been big on yellow boards. I'm a bit paranoid about the mellow yellow and the yum yum yellow, sorry. But this one I like, I really do, and certainly has felt good. So we're going to see how she goes across the whole of the test.
Curve by Hugh Thompson. Second board I surfed, we surfed it a pretty clean overhead Scotbra, some hollow waves, but really clean running ones, and Yeah, I felt like I'd been surfing the boards for years. Straight off first wave, felt really comfortable. It felt fast, it felt smooth, felt reactive. It definitely has like a more gunny feel to it. Like it's the mid-length gun, in my opinion, out of all the boards. And I really like that about it. It felt like you could charge. It felt like the kind of board you'd want to take out to like 8-foot dunes. And that really appeals to me. I mean, Hugh Thompson's a master shaper, and I think his magic shows through the board. I really felt like the board had a bit of a soul, and I think that's testament to Hugh and his shaping. But ultimately, it's just overall fantastic board. It's like the ultimate mid-length music.
The three of us, we are soldiers. No, we never blush. We are soldiers.
Cut back. Whoa.
The three of us,
Finish it. Oh.
we are soldiers. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl. They're really cool, not that shallow. Cool, not that shallow. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl. They're really cool, not that shallow. Cool, not that shallow. The three of us, we are soldiers. The three of us, we are soldiers. We got soul. We are soldiers. We got soul. We are soldiers. Every of us, we got soul. We are soldiers. We don't feel no shame reaching in the rain. We're the infamous being bitches. We don't make a move unless you tease us. We don't feel no shame reaching in the rain. We're the infamous being bitches. We don't make a move unless you tease us. We are soldiers. The three of us,
Power rail.
we are soldiers. The three of us, we are soldiers. We are soldiers. We got soul. We are soldiers.
So when I decided we were going to do mid-lengths, that name was top of my list of people I wanted to get hold of. Hugh Thompson. He's been in the game a long time, and he's been making a lot of mids and a lot of variants on mids. So he's surfing these crazy side-by-side twin things. He's also been doing a lot of like the Torren Martin-inspired mid-twins. I told him we were going to test on the south coast. I really thought we were going to get a twin. The big yellow beastie, though, came with a 5-fin setup. And immediately on seeing this board, I almost thought like big wave gun. It's just got a lot of those characteristics. The tail especially looks like the back of a big wave board. Really sharp here, like really sharp, and then it sort of flattens out a bit here. It's also, like if we look at the 376s, the CI, the Chilli, and the natural curve, this has got the narrowest nose, and the nose goes quite long with the narrow as well. So it's pretty unique compared to the other boards. It's quite a straight Like the rail is really straight. Also not a lot of reverse V. There's also just a very slight double concave here, a bit more heavy back here. And Hugh basically said he wanted a board that was going to paddle well, get you into the waves, and be able to hold its rail. Because obviously he was expecting us to be surfing pretty heavy right-handers, and he wasn't wrong. I know Dylan pretty much fell in love with this thing the moment he saw it, and he really enjoyed surfing it as well. I mean, there's footage of him at pretty big right-handers having a great time. I really enjoyed it. It was a little bit different to what I was expecting, in that I felt like I had to build up just a little bit of momentum on it. But once it got going, boy, did it keep going. And another one that I had a quick session at South Beach in Durban when we first arrived as a thruster, and there's one really nice down carve you'll see there. The board felt good, but Dylan made the call to put the quad in, and he made a good call. This board really rode well as a quad, like really, really well. And I mean, I surfed some pretty hefty, kind of bit wobbly sort of Port Alfred on it. It was just, I mean, it was bumpy. You'll see on the footage a couple of times I nearly lose my foot. But I could really attack the wave. Like I could go for it. I did some vertical turns on it, some nice big carves. I could really like push off the bottom. And I mean, I have a feeling this board would go well on the backhand. I mean, really good as well. So I think if you're looking for a high performance mid-length, something that you can surf in like more heavy waves, and that is certainly going to give you that paddle power that you want to get into those waves, this is a good option. I mean, Hugh's been shaping boards a long time, for like up in Durban first and now in J-Bay, and he surfs those waves too. So he's a great person to give that knowledge back into what he makes, which is these boards. And you can feel it when you surf it. Like it's made for big, grinding, open-faced waves. That's what this board wants. So if you're looking for like the little Hey Shawau cruisy mid-length, this is not it. If you're looking for a mid-length that you can paddle out at 6 to 8 foot and actually have an absolute go on and make big long sections and come around them, and then when you want to do a big turn, it allows you to do that big turn, this is the mid-length. It really is. And you can surf it as a thruster, it'll go. I think in the holler, bigger days, you definitely want to go for the quad. So Hugh, again, second board he's done. Second board I love. I think Dylan is in love, and I'm sad to see it go. I really enjoyed surfing it.
So I have made my decision on which board I'm going to choose from the regular guy. I am choosing the Natural Curve by Hugh Thompson. I chose it because first wave got to my feet, and it felt like I'd known the board for years. It felt like I'd been surfing it for a long time. So there was like an instant connection that I felt with the board. It definitely feels like it has soul and love, and knowing Hugh, the master shape he is, he would have put some care and attention into it. But you know, it is just testament to him being such a good, experienced shaper. But the real reason why I chose it, because it has the most potential to charge. Mid-length gun, I feel like, you know, 6 to 8 foot dunes, big classic J-Bay. That's the kind of board I'd like to be on. It's glass nice and heavy, so it's strong, but it's got all of the performance I need to be able to surf the waves I want to surf at the best of my ability, but still retaining really classic, timeless, beautiful lines. And that to me is what good surfing is about and what a good surfboard is about. So reflecting back on it all, it was a really beautiful experience. I mean, I'm stoked to always be on a surf trip with the guys, the film crew, and Kai. Kai's a legend. Great sense of humor. He has these moments of switching between like a really, you know, still quiet, wise man to really playful and childlike, and it's a really good balance. So I really enjoyed being around Kai and being on the trip with him. Very grateful for his energy and effort. Got a little skunked. We were promised blue water, firing right-hand point brakes, barrels, and we got 1 to 2 foot onshore, easterly, brown, dirty water. So quite the opposite, but it kind of made for an experience of its own. So yeah, overall I think the regular guy is a beautiful platform to review boards. I think it's a very cool thing that Kai's doing. You know, everyone is sort of getting their board reviews off pros and like really good guys, and you know, international overseas boards. I think on the ground, South African shapers, you know, regular guy surfing, you know, not sort of what the pros are riding, and just testing the boards and subpar, par, good waves, like just getting a feel for what the boards really do. I think it's a really honest reflection of board reviews. So yeah, guys, stay tuned. Some good things coming your way.